that's your thing.
That's
so
right.
yeah, and it's
So a witness.
when I see someone pick up like a guitar like that and they know how to do like just things, I'm like, my brain just melts.
I'm gonna jump in here. James Baldwin considered himself a witness. Are you familiar with James Baldwin? All right, author, activist. He considered himself a witness. He didn't think that he was up there an activist just like the rest of them, just like Martin Luther King and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and Stokely Carmichael and all those people he was next to. He considered himself a witness because he was a writer and he told the story. But when we now look back on him, James Baldwin was an activist. So he's just as much a part of it as the people that are doing it. Being a witness is just as important as the people that are creating what you are witnessing. So don't ever think that that's not super important in this whole thing ever. Okay, just so you know.
Because we feed off of the energy we get from the people that we perform for. So I can play to my walls all day and they don't care. The walls don't care. They're like, I'm a wall.
What's the wall made out of?
That wall is made out of sheetrock.
1 hour firewalls.
Very, very flimsy sheetrock.
Oh, okay. So it's like if it's a cedar tree, if it's like a log cabin, the wall cares.
I would be dead. I'm allergic.
Oh no!
I'm allergic to animals. I'm allergic to outside. So I was like,
what? Well, you're a musician and a scientist. You're a scientist.
So Sonya, I've got to ask real quick. What was the first thing that made you pick? Not to interject, Stacie. I have a psych degree.
I'm sipping my tea. This is why I do this, is so that y'all can talk.
What was the first thing that made you want to pick up an instrument? Like that you can recall. Like you're like,
I got tired of waiting for other musicians to come play for me, so that
man.
Oh. So I have been singing since I was like 5. That I can recall. Like I can recall kindergarten or first grade or something, or church. Singing. And then when I turned 31, I was like, I'm just gonna play and figure it out. So I wrote 4 songs, and then I went, let me go to school and figure out what the heck I'm doing. So I got to school, they tested me, they skipped me for the first, that first class for you, when you intro class.
Yeah.
And I went straight into the rest of it. When I got to music theory, I needed the vocabulary for the classes that came in the intro class.
Oh.
So I could say, excuse me, I could play, do whatever they were asking, but I didn't know how the vocabulary worked. So no matter what you're learning, you should learn the basics, the root, where it came from, how it got there, so that you'll have the vocabulary later on. Nerd.
Well, no, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I'm a total band nerd. I play 11 different instruments. Not the guitar, not the piano.
Do you play an accordion?
No, I don't play accordion because that's too close to the piano. I don't play the piano.
Play the lap,
you know,
the lap thing,
the like a dulcimer lap.
No, it's like
no.
The steel guitar.
I play all.
No, it's circle. It's got little indentions on it, and you go and it's circle.
Oh,
theremin.
Sits on your lap.
The theremin. And I don't play that, but my mom does. My mom plays all those Ozark instruments, the lap dulcimer, the mandolin, the guitar, and all of that. She plays all of them, and she tried to teach me when I was a little girl, and I couldn't get it. I could not get the guitar. Couldn't do it. I get into middle school, high school, and I could just pick up instruments like it was nothing. I wanted to play the tuba. They were like, no, you can't play the tuba. And so, and they tried to put me on the flute, but my embouchure wasn't right for it. And back then, and so they put me on clarinet instead. And so then from clarinet, I went through all my different instruments. I played all the different stuff. I still can't play the dang old guitar. I can play it like compared to people that don't play the guitar, but I can't play it compared to people like you that do play the guitar. I I don't. I understand exactly what you're talking about when you're saying being able to speak the language, because my songs are that I've written are written on a guitar by some other guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how to play the guitar, and I can't play my own music, and I don't know how to tell a guitar player how to play my music.
I
So
can teach you.
so the what you're offering is something that is incredibly, like, I understand completely why it's important. Like, personally, as someone who's, I am a musician, I know music theory, I was in band for 100 years. I still can't tell a band how to play my songs because I don't play guitar and I don't know the guitar player language. So,
It's the language is universal.
well, how
It's
come it doesn't make sense when I say it? I speak when I'm talking about B flat instruments. You know?
Pe- pe- People have translation in different ways. That's it.
Well, I can't even wrap my head around how a guitar is like it's open tuning or what. Like, I can't even wrap my head around how a guitar works, because in the band instruments it's this type of instruments. It's in the key of E flat, it's in the key of B flat, it's in the key of whatever, right? It's treble clef, it's bass clef. The guitar can do whatever you tell it to do.
that's
I
right, because
don't
it's a
get it.
piano. It's basically a piano.
So, like as a child, I learned how to, I don't want to say I learned. I took piano lessons for like 4 or 5 years, picked it up pretty quick. And then I started taking viola, which is that clef between bass and treble. It's its own alto clef. So you want to talk about someone screwing up with your music theory thoughts? I was like, and then somewhere down along the lines, like I was watching like Dave Grohl as a little kid play drums, and I would set up like books and cans and like drum after him, like in my room and stuff like that. When I was 24 years old, I was over at a friend's house. They were having a party, and they're like, "We need someone on drums," and I was like, "I'll try it." And I got on there and I played Metallica with them. And they were like, "We didn't know you played. Like, how long's it been? Like high school?" I was like, "No, dude, this is the first time I've picked up a pair of sticks." And they were like,
Sonya,
"What?"
Sonya, is she a sleeper? Sonya, is she a sleeper?
There are a
She's a
lot of
sleeper.
women that are
She's a
like that.
sleeper, isn't she? She's a sleeper.
There's a lot of women who can keep a lick and they just never had a chance to do it. Yeah,
Now
absolutely.
we have a drum kit in the garage. So,
It's a
Well, you
great
better
stress
go.
reliever.
well, and
She's
I'll tell y'all a little story here. For a very short snippet of time, I was the second vocalist for an all-female jazz quartet here in town.
nice. I love harmonies a lot. I love
I sang
jazz.
solo. You couldn't hear me. No, but I didn't know what I was doing. In terms of like stage presence, like I realized real quick, fast in a hurry, that was not. I enjoyed the short time I had with them, but I realized I was like, this is not my forte in performing.
You
And it
prefer
was,
a more intimate type of, a more kind of closely engaged type performance, or what?
well, I didn't know what to do with my hands, or like when I was, or like when I wasn't, like when it wasn't my vocal part, I was like, I don't. Do I just stand here like this?
Look,
I don't.
cheers. Look,
And that's the part. I think I got more in my head than anybody else. You know
do
what
they
I
have
mean?
choreographers? You have
Oh no, it was
choreographers?
just
Because
four
I
of
do.
us. It was just four of us.
So what's
It
that
was
have to do with anything? Like, we have, look, when she's talking about poets and things, I'm a member of some of a bomb poetry group of folks, and we choreograph our stuff. There's movement. There's things
that's
that
really
you do
cool.
with your body and with your hands and moving around and all of that to convey whatever message, you know. And you do the same thing in a quartet. Girl, I grew up Church of Christ, so we have five 5-part harmonies, and we knew all the time just precisely where we went, both body and voice. But it's a thing, and I understand, like, not everything is
Lord.
Well, it's one of those things. Like I'm very glad I had the opportunity to realize that, to say like, cool. I have dipped my toe into that. Like my fear is not a fear. I just realized that that's not where I belong in the universe.
I understand.
Knowing your place, where you want to be, makes a big
Yeah.
difference in the world. I know that for me, if I try to do anything else other than music, it makes me sick.
Really?
Every single thing in my life.
Like literally physically ill, right?
Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually makes me ill if I do not do music.
I mean, I've done some weird creative stuff in my life because I think you got to try a lot of things once. Like I was high school mascot. I was the big old wildcat with the head.
Look out!
I'm not terribly shy, but it's like, you know what? You got to get busy living or you got to get busy dying, and I choose for the first.
Yes.
I'm gonna live. I want to live.
Say it.
I want to live. I want to live. So it's real. That's real, and I think it's. I'm glad y'all are here this evening. Thank y'all very much.
Well, thank you for the invite.
It was meant to be because I wasn't even on the internet. I went, I can do that. Hi.
I love it. I love it. And I've been trying to. We've been kind of chatting a little bit off and on through this whole thing, but I really stopped most of everything during the coronavirus because I want to live, like we were just saying. Like I want to live. But I'm glad that we've got this platform, and I think that it's I think that y'all and like y'all watching out here in the community need to understand that these two women that are here talking with me right now are resources in the community. So if you need to learn how to do anything online, Sonya's got classes. She's got classes that you can take, right? If you want to know about what's going on, if you want to express yourself in other ways, Rachel can help you with that too. So it's really important that we acknowledge the resources that we have within our community and the opportunity that we have with the coronavirus right now. Because I got to tell y'all the truth, I would not have done this if it wasn't the coronavirus right now, because I've got a ton of other projects. I've got a venue that I help run. I wouldn't have done this, and this wouldn't have happened if not for the lockdown, right? Have y'all seen V for Vendetta?
Very, very well.
It was 2020. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to stop for a moment and say thank you so much for joining us right now. I want us to start transitioning into our music break, if that's okay. Sonya, can you hook us up?
Sure.
Can you make us feel good and set the vibrations right? Are you at 1600 or are you at 480? What frequency are you at? I'm just kidding.
Standard tuning is 440.
440, right?
And Metallica, or usually the heavy metal bands, they usually do drop D tuning.
I was about to say that.
And that puts us at about what frequency? If you're in drop D tuning, about what frequency is that?
Rumble your junk. That's what
my junk is in the drawer. I will keep watch on it.
Watch the junk, y'all. Listen, but sound is a weapon and a tool, and there is absolutely a science to it. In a minute, when you get done, I want to talk to you about cymatics and things like that, because I'm sure you know about it. So,
girl, hit that 85 decibels.
Do it. So I'm going to black my screen, but I am still here. But I would like you have got the next 20 minutes, and then I'll check back in and we'll go from there. Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Let's see here, boys and girls. Thanks for having me out, Miss Stacie.
Thank you so much for coming on such short notice. I appreciate you a great deal.
Let's do this song here. This is one of mine. It's called How You Gonna? You broke my heart. You broke my heart. Well, yeah. Said, yeah, you did. How you gonna tell me I'm not good enough? How you gonna tell me I ain't got the right stuff? How you gonna tell me I'm not good enough? Crocodile tears down my face, make it high, shook it against some place. Thought you were my friend, my mistake. Pardon me, my mistake. How you gonna stand there and tell me not good enough? How you gonna stand there and tell me not good enough? Fun. She says, well, girl, you need to stop hiding. You need to, yeah, you, I'm talking about you. You need to stop hiding, Miss Rachel. She's like, uh-huh. Yeah.
Dude, you're on mute.
All that red hair. I'm gonna do one of my new songs. So in 2013, I wrote 50 new songs, one new song a week for a whole year. Because I'm a
How? See, that's part of the process. I don't. Sorry for interrupting.
You're good.
No. That part that's completely mystifying to me.
We'll keep the magic. She is. Don't send me stuff because I'll read it. Awesome. Right on. I teach that stuff, so come to my consulting classes. Get in touch with me. I can teach you how to breathe. So this song's called Love.
This is so serendipitous. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Let's do it, Stacie.
Don't be scared. Come on now. Come on.
Let me mute myself. Hang on. I'm sorry. I knew this was gonna be good. I just
no. It's see. This is how when I play online, I like it because y'all are online. So in Second Life, when the audience talks to us, that's perfect. That's what we want. Talk to us while we're doing stuff like, where's my song? So that's good stuff. Bring it forth.
I'm kind of a natural born like disruption, so I try to limit that.
Yeah, you're good.
Listen, I have to tell you, she's the only one that was not scared to talk to me when I went to this first show. Everybody else looked at me and was like, who is this bitch? Because I went in real serious because I didn't know anybody, and there's rock and rollers, you know, so there's tough guys and scary and stuff.
You know,
I know. But I wanted to not be like run over by these folks that I had never met before if I'm supposed to be stage manager. And Rachel helped me. I was like, so can you tell me? She was like, first of all, who are you? And I'm here to help you, but who are you? And then I was like, what do you do? And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, someone help, please. And who is this? And who is this? And she giggled at me and went and helped me with everything. It was so nice. Anyway, she knows everybody. She knows everybody. She knows everybody.
Cobra Cat, Stacie, I will say this. You did knock me out of kilter once because I did not know one person, and I was like...
See, but I knew the people at Cobra Cast, so we were good there.
Yeah.
So but still.
Well, Bobby was like, you don't know him? And I was like, would I be asking you if I did?
I knew most of the people at Cobra Cast. Not all the people at the Cobra Cast, because he had like 12 bands at that party. Which that's how they do. But anyway, I'm sorry, Sonya. I'm going to go. See, that's why I mute myself, because I talk too much.
You're good. You invited me, remember? The song's called Love. It's on my last CD, and my last CD is called #2019 Superhero. Love is what we need. Love, la 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 la. Love is what we need. Love to be a first star of the day. Love dancing to the rhythm that we made. Love having my lips on the nape of your neck. Breathing in your skin. Love is what we need. Love, la 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 la. Love is what we need. consent to the power of love. Love is what we need. Love, la 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 love. Love is what we need. Is what we need. It's all we need. My bad. In my head, I'm always singing. All my songs sound like one big long song in my head.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. They don't sound the same. like it's got a super chill, similar vibe, but they don't sound like the same song.
No.
Thank you.
So, scientist. Can I call you the scientist?
You want an original or a cover?
What do you want to do?
No. Do you want an original
No.
or a cover?
Let's do a cover.
Okay.
And then an original, and then another original, and then another original.
Okay.
And then we want to do a remix.
And then we want a remix of the whole thing.
Well, let me talk to you off camera.
Okay.
So, Earth the Kit is the first person I ever heard do that. She said, perfectly, darling.
I love her so
I
much.
learned that I could do it back here in the back of my throat and not the front of my throat. Like, I can purr like a cat.
Oh, dude, I can't. I sound like a broken Wookiee.
Well, look. So you have figured out. This is gonna sound super. This is where my super nerd comes in, right? Because cats, they haven't figured out how a cat makes that sound. They haven't figured out how it makes the cat that purr sound. They don't know how they do that. They've dissected a bazillion cats and they still don't know how a cat makes that sound. And they only do it to gratify humans. They don't purr for each other. And that goes from a house cat all the way up to the big cats. They only purr for people.
I'm really not sure why that makes me annoyed, but it kind of does.
I mean,
Like, why are you fronting, cat? Like
Why you gotta do
what?
that?
But no, but that's a total aside. But
that means they're trying to talk to us.
they're trying to communicate with us, right? Cat ass cats. Anyway, we'll get it, right? We'll hear them. We'll understand them. Eventually, they understand us. Anyway, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself again.
All right, don't yell at me. This is like my third time to do this song live.
I'm not gonna yell at you. I might sing. I said, I'm not gonna yell at you. You might see me out here singing to my walls in here.
Now I'm curious about all. See, I don't. Don't look at me. Pay talk to each other.
I like that.
So you were asking, Rachel,
Almost
about how you write
always.
songs. A lot of the time, it's for me is about the groove. I was born by the river in a little tent. And just just like a river. I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming. I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living. I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming. But I know change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie. I go downtown. Somebody keeps telling me, don't you hang around. It's been a long, long time coming. No, change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Then I go to my brother. Say, brother, help me please. But he winds up knocking me back down on my knees. Yeah, there've been times when I thought I couldn't last for long, but now I think I'm able to carry on. It's been a long, long time coming. Oh, no, no, change gon' come. Yes, it will. Change gon' come. Yes, it will. Change gon' come. Sam Cooke. All right, I'll do my last one here.
That was awesome.
I get scared when I do that song. It's a beautiful song. And when he plays it, it's completely orchestrated.
I was gonna say I've never heard and that song has been done. I love that arrangement. I love what you did with that. it's
I
yeah.
never play stuff like other people have done it. My mom, in the back of my head, I always hear my mom play it like your own way. Play it like your own way. Yes, ma'am.
Well,
yes, ma'am.
I mean, there's yeah. Why not? You know, why not? So what are you gonna play now?
I'm gonna play Superhero. Hashtag Superhero 2019. It's on my last CD.
Hash brown.
Hash brown. I love hash browns.
Do you
That's what my daughter makes me call them.
Do you give lessons on photography, Rachel?
I don't yet, but I do co-shoot with quite a few people because I think that's a fun way to learn, and for me to learn from other people, and vice versa.
All right, fair enough. I'm learning how to use this fangled camera thing. It's a Canon. Ooh, I'm sorry, I got Canon.
Ooh, snap.
My song.
You're doing a song.
Hashtag superhero 2000. No, hashtag 2019 superhero. Say it right.
Say it right. We gotta get it right.
That's not it.
Oh, oh,
Just a minute.
oh,
Got a minute. Got a minute. Oh, that's
oh,
right.
oh.
You'll like this groove, I promise, because
I
it's
love
my
grooves.
favorite. Go.
She was right. She was absolutely correct.
Wanted to be a superhero, help someone who was in need. I didn't know, no, superpower, and in time, well, it came to me. Came to me. Oh, came to me. Now I sing and play my guitar. Sing and play my guitar. Cicadas in the background. Wanted to be a superhero and help someone who was in need. I didn't know, no, superpowers, and in time, well, it came to me. Ooh, came to me. Oh, came to me. Now I'll sing and play my guitar. Sing choir sings do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Oh, wanted to be a superhero flies off with her cape in the background flapping.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Hey, so thank you so much. That was amazing. That was beautiful. So just real quick, if you've got sensitive sensibilities, we're about to switch over to prime time right now, just so you know. So
grown folks stuff. Okay.
Yeah, we're about to switch over to the grown folks stuff right now. So
well,
yeah,
it's me. I don't know how
so
adult it
we
is.
gotta look. We're gonna do. Look, see, we're switching over to the grown folks stuff. We turned down the lights.
Let me get closer.
Look. All right, and so honestly, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm a total prude, but again, Rachel's amazing, and she's just such a warm and wonderful person, and makes everybody feel welcome no matter where you are. No, it's true. So we somehow ended up in this conversation.
I know where this is going.
We somehow ended up in this conversation out in front of the, where were we? Come and take it.
Yep.
At the.
We were on the porch.
And she told me we were on the porch. We were smoking. I was smoking. And we started talking, and I was like, you what? You do what? I would like to know more about this. This sounds, I am fascinated. Help me. Like, help me. And so Rachel, and she,
been there, done that.
Look, so Sonya, so what I am going to do, because what I'm telling you, this is total, I had no idea. This is so serendipitous. I had no idea. But what I am going to do now is take a back seat to Rachel and Sonya and sit here and clutch my pearls. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here and clutch my pearls while Sonya and Rachel expand our horizons.
Oh, Lord.
So
we're all free people, aren't we?
During the daytime, I can't say what social media site I work for. Wink,
no,
wink.
No, right.
But
yeah.
By daytime, I am a data analyst in the legal department for a social network. We'll leave it at that. So y'all can read between the lines. So my after 5.
I need pearls. Where are my pearls? I'm not. Wait.
So I am also the mother to a 10-year-old, and so this is where some of this stuff comes in a little bit, where people are like, "What?" I was like, "I know the schema don't fit." So one of the things I do is that I not only participate in shibari, which, if y'all don't know what that is, that's basically rope bondage. But I also teach, I perform it, I get tied, I tie, and I specialize in self-suspension, not hooks, only from ropes and fibers. But from part of that, I tie artistically, because some people are like, "Oh my God, I've seen 50 Shades of Grey," and I'm like, no. You're doing it wrong. But one of the things too I'm real big on is about the whole consent negotiation. I'm a resource for that, for people that are starting to get into maybe not only rope, but those other types of related fields, because there is a lot of overlap. Well, that may not necessarily be my area. It's somebody else's, and the principles are typically the same. But I just did a series about a month ago with a very talented photographer by the name of Ali Boubar, and where we actually put out photos of some work we did together, collaborated with a model, and they turned out gorgeous. And it's one of those things where it's like, people are like, "You do what?" I'm like, I know. I'm a mom of a 10-year-old. I have a pretty, rudimentary kind of daytime job, and I'm a music fan at that. But people are often like, do you use rubber chickens? Dude, no. No. It's nothing about that. But I tie artistically. I see Stacie's face. You get the craziest of questions. People, some people come from an origin of not honestly knowing, and some people are like, "Hey, no. Do not DM me. No. I tie artistically. There's nothing wrong with other people exploring their boundaries in whatever consensual situation they're in. But if you send me 21 pictures of somebody's physical anatomy, we'll put it like that, no, you're going against all the principles altogether. But so I'm involved not only like here in town, there's some peer education groups, and if anybody wants to know more about tying like shibari or into those types of aspects, I know the resources. I can help Yvette. But I do tie artistically. I also do paintings and things to where if somebody is tied up, I do cover them in paint, and we essentially do like a body stamp of that person. That's cool. COVID has kind of made some of this very limited for the last couple of months because you are very in close contact. That's fine. That's not within my risk profile. That's not within theirs. Totally fine. But it is very good. And the most common question I have is does it hurt?
Like if you wanted to.
It's not entirely comfortable.
But right. But my thing I wanted to right, you know, is that I wanted to comment here on this, and part of why like I wanted you to come, and why I'm like super excited that Sonya was like, hey, I'll come too. This is perfect. But what is so wonderful about this particular lifestyle to me is how transparent with the communication and consent it is. Mm-hmm. Because that part to me is it's so important, and it's something that is missing in the traditional conventional ways, you know, where it's like there's so many things that are taken for granted in other settings, but they should not be. And you know what I mean? Well, and so I really love how grown this is how anyway, I'm listening.
Communication wise, it's one of those basic truths that I completely believe in. And then that sometimes the truth really sucks and we really don't like delivering it. We've all been there. But it's one of those things to where it's like, if you don't say what needs to be out there, then it's a point of contention. It builds resentment. It builds conflict. And at that point, are you really being true to yourself or to whoever else is involved, depending on your relationship situation or anything of that nature? But it's more, you know, it's like getting the truth out there earlier does a lot better. And those expectations, just being very communicative, honest, does better things for you, like your psyche, your soul, and everybody involved. Even if it's a hard conversation, you have to have it. And at the bare minimum, it's when you're talking to somebody, like for instance, before I work with anybody and it's rope or a few of the other things I do, I have a conversation with them. I'm like, what do you not like? What position, like, here's my expectation. Here is exactly what I tie artistically. I'm not in for this for any other means. If you are, that's fine, but just know we're not going there. And, you have to know how to set your boundaries. And it's really good for that. Because if you never had anybody that's actually told you, like, you can set a wall here, absolutely you can. You're your first line of filtering. You're your first line of defense. And so it's a good thing to help empower you to know, okay, it's like, this is not what I want out of this. And if we agree to this beforehand, or if it's not feeling good, we need to stop and we need to talk about it and revisit. And at that point, if it's a issue we can work through, then that's good. But if not, then it's better to be honest than to have to, handle collateral damage after the fact. And then the other thing is too, one of the things that really grinds my gear, I'm going to get slightly political here for a second, so I am so sorry, is that consent is not only allocated to like the whole sexual, physical, object. It's being able to set healthy boundaries and knowing when somebody's stepping over those, and you can still be respectful and say, hey, not cool. Sometimes people don't realize they've stepped over a boundary, but then you have some of those continual people that go through and they're continually like bam, 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 bam. And you're like, maybe this isn't the best person.
Those are assholes.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Maybe this is not the best person I want in my orbit. And you don't have to feel bad about taking those people and, making sure they're not around. You are your first form of defense. Because the other thing is too, is that the more you can set up your boundaries, the more you know your soft spots, the more you know about yourself as a holistic person. And this ties into tying or whatever else you're doing as well, is that it helps you know as a person, like, these are my boundaries. I don't have to feel bad if something's crossed. And if someone's not willing to communicate with me, maybe that's somebody I don't need around me.
So this is something that can really, it's kind of best practices for life, even though like this is something that people like clutch their pearls about and everything, but it really is best practices for life, right? For healthy life. And Sonya, what is your take on this? What do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
Communication is key, paramount, whatever you do. Whatever realm you're playing in, communication is key. If you don't got it, then don't play.
And it's like when I work with somebody artistically, or if I'm wanting to try something out, if I don't feel they can communicate with me, I don't work with them. If they don't feel like they can communicate with me, then if they don't, then no hard feelings. Everyone's got their own comfort level, and that's something to be expected too. Because the other thing is too, with like consent, especially, and I think a lot of people don't realize is just because you like it one day or you allow it one day doesn't mean it's going to be an everyday thing. You have the choice to come back and say, not feeling it. And that's an option. That is never not an option. So, and with rope and things like that, it's especially touchy because sometimes people have certain emotional triggers. I like being tied because I consider it like centering, because at that point when you're tied up, whether or not you're in the air or you're doing something on the ground or you're working with somebody, if you're in that moment, you are in your body, you are feeling the most primal feelings your body has ever felt. And part of the challenge for me is knowing, am I freaking out or am I not having good feelings because of what's in here? Or can I ride through it and actually listen to what my body is telling me?
Wait. Rewind.
No, it's cool.
That's a poetry thing. What?
So with me, for me, my person, I know.
No, because this is a trip for me right now, because now I heard what you said, but it forces you to put things in perspective and to really evaluate if you are actually in danger or if it is an anxiety adrenaline response. For
me, it is more of a centering. Like, can I let go of what's in here? And essentially, if I can't for me, then this is what I need to work on. About a year ago, I did a sensory deprivation chamber. And that's where they take you in, and you're in a very saline water tub and you're floating. And I realized one of my hangups was time. Is like, I'm consistently like, I've got to be 10 minutes before time. Did this take an hour? Did this take 45 minutes? But in entirety, I could have been in that sensory deprivation chamber for 3 minutes or 3 hours. It was only an hour, they timed it. But for rope, that's very much the same thing for me. It's more of a chance for me to kind of work through and kind of be like, okay, put myself into a situation to where I consensually and put myself into the mindset of I'm going to do this. Or what about this is uncomfortable? It makes you revisit like the whole head, mind, body perspective.
Yeah,
So
I think I would.
that is entirely my take on it.
Sonya, what do you think?
I haven't been in a sensory tank, but that sounds like fun because it's something I haven't done. I like to try things twice because first time somebody might have left out some baking soda or some salt or switched up the ingredients, something. I like to try things twice. I will do that. I'm not unless
Well, and I do times where I teach people how to tie each other, because one, I want them to know how to do it safely. There's certain areas on the body you can and can't, but a lot of the rope or anything within that realm really is about communication. It's about listening to your partner or whoever you're working with, to not only learn how to negotiate and communicate very, very clearly, like your needs, your expectations, your boundaries, but it's also knowing after the fact, like knowing after the fact, it's like you've got to come down from that and you've got to be able to talk to them about what you did or didn't like, about what did or didn't work, or what in the future you would like to do. And I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with that because yeah, and it's like maybe yeah, and it's one of those things too, because some people go into it, they're like, oh, it's all 50 Shades of Grey, or oh, it's all pretty photography, or whatever. And I understand those aspects of it, but
is it bad that I've never seen that show?
It's
I've never seen that show because I don't watch TV.
And I can't bring myself to watch it because I heard that there's some things about the relationship with him and his sub that are not healthy.
Oh, extremely.
And I don't care to participate in that, like I could. So I haven't been able to bring myself to do it, because it's like, if they're saying, like, what's the foundation of that relationship in the first place, And so it's like, oh yeah, I don't, I'm good.
So I read that book in less than a day, and just I'm not a fan. I don't think it is a good portrayal, because
they're so different, right? It's so different in real life than what was portrayed in that, right?
Yeah, it's he's a stalker, he's a predator, and it's not all on him; it's partially on her,
right?
Because
she goes went. Along. She kept going.
Yeah,
she kept going.
Yeah, and when I read the book, I was like, no, this is not how this is supposed to work.
Wrong.
And so, like, out of the woodwork, then you have people, some people have a genuine curiosity about it. You don't know when someone messages you and saying, hey, I'm interested in this, whether or not they're into the hype of it or they're really interested in it. What really got me into it was when I was living in Houston. I was doing Stacie, here's another thing you didn't know about me. Okay. I
won't tell anybody.
I was doing acro yoga for a period of time.
I love acro yoga.
And I was a base.
Educate, please. What that is?
Acro yoga is kind of what you see like the Circus Soleil people doing.
On the ropes? I mean, on the skirts?
No, like, so they do the poses where they lift other people up and they hold each other up and they do these various yoga poses. It's so amazing. It's a trust exercise, basically.
It really is.
Friends that do it. I've got a friend, Thomas and Claudia over at Del Sol Yoga and Kung Fu. They have a Kung Fu school. They do that acro yoga stuff, and it is amazing. But anyway, keep talking. I'm listening.
I am nowhere at those people's level, but like I'm a base, so I was lifting people up and like flipping them around and doing the basic groundwork exercises and things like that. And I saw a couple working, and one woman had her arms like tied together with jute, and another woman, or the same woman, also had her legs tied together, but her partner and her were so in sync that they were just working so well together. And I was like, how does that work? How does that go together?
Intimacy.
Yeah.
Intense,
and,
huh?
I got into, I started working with a group in Houston, and I won't say their name because confidentiality.
Because that's part of it, right?
Yeah. And eventually I started tying myself because I wanted to know how the knots worked. Because I figured if I wanted to know how to maneuver within it, I needed to know how it worked. And so I started self-tying, and being a bigger bodied person, and being a female rigger is very, very, we are not the norm.
Are you an exception as well? Like the lady producer and the lady rigger?
So one, self-suspension with anybody is kind of it's not an oddity. It's not what a lot of people do. So a lot of people either want to get tied or be tied, but some people, a lot of people don't actively like self-tie or self-suspend. And so, and especially being a bigger body person like myself.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm pretty sure that's probably the only way I'd be able to do it, because I don't trust nobody.
No, everyone has their own speed. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's not two flavors are the same for everybody.
Right.
But I learned how to tie on myself well enough and how to suspend on myself to where I could let newer people learn how to tie on me, and I could teach them as they're tying.
Are you going to show us any of this tonight? We only have 20 more minutes. Are you going to show us anything?
Probably not tonight, because my rope is actually being treated tonight. So
see, that is this is a whole lifestyle. You are fancy. You are fancy.
Oh, I am not fancy, but
I'm listening. I'm sorry.
No, but that was part of the thing too, was that, you know, people were like, well, how are you, one, self-suspending? And so I'm teaching them, and then I've had newer people that I've worked with who've wanted to learn to tie, that have learned to tie on me, like in the initial stages. And I've kind of worked as like a test dummy to be like, you need to work here. You need to work up above this nerve bundle or down below. And
did you say above this nerve bundle or down below?
Yes, because the other thing that people don't realize is
are you a scientist too?
There is a lot of health and safety that goes behind this that people don't realize, aside from like the whole emotional aspect.
Yeah, please.
Is that you have to realize the number one knot that most people try to do, and it's because of how we're, unless you're a Boy Scout or you're an avid camper or a nautical nautist or something like that, your number one thing is to make a knot that doesn't lock, which means you've effectively created a noose. That is not cool. So, and it's not like a noose just like on the neck, it's anywhere on the body. But people go into this not realizing that, you know, you have nerve bundles like all over your body. So if you hit on one spot, you could lose feeling right here, or right here. So you have to know the difference between what you're hitting and what your person that you're working with is feeling. And the other thing is too, you have to know, you know, how to communicate with your partner or whoever you're working with in that space. Because, for instance, I've had somebody forget to tell me they were diabetic, but I was tying on their legs. That was one of those moments, and
you kind of need that circulation, right? Like that could be harmful.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. I was like, okay, so maybe we work more on the arms and less on the legs, because you have more propensity for something bad to happen in those lower, limbs. And also too, it's kind of cool too, because people are like, the one thing, I'm a bigger lady. I have no qualms about it. People don't want to look, they don't have to look. I'm fine with that. But
You're a woman, and stop
I'm a
saying
woman.
anything disparaging about your size or shape. Period. I'm
Yeah.
putting my foot down right now. I'm putting it up right now. Here's my foot. I'm putting it down. Okay.
I
There's my foot
created
down.
I created a human. She's wonderful. My body has done some amazing things. My body gets me through every day. You know what? That's pretty spectacular. And I think one of the things too people in rope think as well is that, oh, I have to be, a certain body type. And it's not that. It's for everybody. It's not about exactly how you look in it. It's about how you feel. How are you feeling? Because a lot of times, like when I tie artistically because I love the collaboration. I love the feeling with people. I love creating art. I love creating energy. And for me, it's like, yeah, for some of the times I've tied with people, I'm like, yeah, my face may have not been the greatest, but you know what? In that moment in time, that was phenomenal. And it's like, my body is capable of this and so much more. This is amazing.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm sorry, and I know I'm not the boss of you or nothing like that. Just stop at the stuff where you're saying the nice things about yourself. Don't kneecap yourself. That's what that's called. When we women, because we all do it, we are
Yeah,
conditioned to do it. Again, also why I'm glad that you're here to talk about this. Like, there's so many things where we don't feel free to express ourselves fully,
yeah,
up to and including. I'm completely okay with saying I'm the fucking bomb. I'm a beautiful goddess. And your standard of beauty don't mean shit. I know what
exactly.
I'm here for. I know what I am.
You
Okay?
know what?
So
I
I
am
don't
who I am,
want.
and I'm all right.
You are a woman. That's it. That's it. That's where it stops. All the kneecapping, you cut that out. You cut
Yep.
that out. Cut that
Because
out.
I mean,
I
and I think one of
insist.
the things too,
Not on
people.
my show.
Oh no, I didn't mean it like that at all. I just meant like,
I'm just kidding.
I think one of the things is too. It's like when people like think about body imaging and type, it's like you may look at this one point, but look at everything else. Look at all this. Look at what you do on a daily basis. Look, it's like I've created a child. It's like, you know what? This is my vessel. I'm happy with it. If you're not, don't look. We're fine.
Snapping.
Yeah. And it also too goes to that whole consent and control thing. It's like you have the right, if this is your body, to say no or to allow things in, and not to feel bad about that. And
That's
so
right.
with rope for me, part of it was taking back control of not necessarily anything bad happened, but it's knowing like in my body, like I am testing
That's what I was kind of getting to earlier. Is like you really have to be 100% fully present, 100% in the moment, and you have to trust yourself.
Exactly.
And that's fascinating to me. Like there's not that much. There's not that much um, consent and conscientiousness in really many other situations. Really. And yet people kind of look and they're like clutching their pearls and stuff. But it's like, no, this is conscientious, like fully present, consensual. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing and why, as opposed to in other situations where people just kind of go through the motions and do what they think is supposed to come next. And it's like, people, we're not supposed to live like that.
Oh.
We're not supposed to just go along with things that don't feel right for us, and we should feel completely comfortable loving ourselves as we are. And
Exactly.
we should feel completely comfortable communicating what our boundaries are. And the people that we surround ourselves should be completely comfortable with us doing that. And we don't live that way. And it's like, why don't we live that way? Why do we have to go to places where confidentiality is key so that folks don't find out? When those are the settings where people are actually doing what we're supposed to do when we're engaging with each other, as far as the mindfulness and the conscientiousness of it. You understand what I'm asking? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I I'm disgusted now. I'm just gonna, I really got like this is
well, and for
so
me,
respectable. It's so respectable.
well, and you know, people are like, but you have a 10-year-old. How do you do this? Okay, my child learns things at age appropriate levels.
Hello. It's not like you're. Come on.
No.
You've got a door, right? You've got doors,
Exactly.
right?
I mean, first and foremost, I'm a parent no matter what happens. So,
First things
but secondly, I'm myself no matter everything outside of that. This is very much a part of me, and this is how I translate. Like this is how I put my energy back out into the universe. It's not only through photography; it's through this means, because it's a way to collaborate. It's a way to work for me. This is my medium. And then,
like, some people write songs, like, see how I feel? Okay, so how you feel about writing songs is how I feel about what you do. Okay? Because writing songs makes perfect sense to me. I totally get it.
See, and that to me is totally a mystery, because I'm looking at it and I was like, I don't know. My brain does not operate like that. Like, I can look
but you
like,
trust. And you allow people to trust.
You do, Rachel. You just don't know that you can take that same focus that you have with ropes and you can do it with music. It's just learning the vocabulary that goes with it. That's all, and how to use it. It's just vocabulary.
Well, I did a series a while back to where there was like 3 or 4 instruments that I actually tied up. And it, and on it's just Stacie's face, but
what instruments? Wait, which instruments?
What?
I tied a couple of basses and a couple of guitars. One of my friends has a bass that I tied up and totally resurfaced on their wall. And that for me was kind of the intersection of my love for music and my love of rope and my love of just general art stuff that I do, to get that out and get that on there, out in the universe in a way.
Where are those pictures?
Instagram.
Yeah, where is that? Where is that?
Instagram. They're from a couple years back. I will send them to you.
Okay.
That would be content for you. It doesn't have to be like specifically showing everything, but you could like focus in on one little portion of it and go, this is what you can do with it, content wise.
Sonya, her page is fire.
I'm gonna
fire. You know what? Her page looks like you sound.
All right.
Thank you. But then, you know, it's like I consider myself not only into the rope, but I'm kind of an art. I consider myself fascinated in the things that I'm fascinated in. So, like, in terms of photography, like, some people are like, I can't believe you got that shot. I was like, no, as an audience member, this is what I want to see. Like, I shoot from like someone said I get the best drummer faces of the world. And we all know how drummers are. One, they're hard to get because they're always moving. Totally fine. That's how we want them. But 2, it's like when you get someone like doing the motion, those are the best. Those are the best photography photos, because in that moment of time, or the tense space, those are when you are most rocking out. That, for me as an audience member, that is the best photography, like symbionts ever.
Earlier you said visceral.
It is.
Which one
it's
is
Wait, Sonya, what you got? What are you showing? What is that? What are you doing, Sonya? Let me see.
There's like 5 Rachels on here.
Rachel Elise.
Oh well. I'm looking for something different. I spell
Yeah, look for Elise. Yes.
My artist,
she can tell it. She's right there.
She's on Instagram. I'm Rev.
Oh, it's Rev Ratchet.
Okay,
Which I love.
backspace. What?
Rev.
Yeah, she wants the good stuff.
Rev.ratchet.
I love this ratchet. What's
It's so serious. Look, you're not ready, but you might be. I wasn't.
Well, and then what's kind of cool too is that
crack. So.
What? What?
Sarah Elise is doing a what's called a women in photography kind of thing. It was supposed to be in August of this year, but got postponed until January or February. We'll see what happens. But she invited women from the community to come in and apply to be a tattooed model for her exhibit. And what it was fighting the stereotype of women with tattoos. Not that they were necessarily bad, or like people got a really bad connotation of women with ink. Just like, she's one of those. I'm like,
I sure am. You're damn right. Yes, I am. Look, right
I got
here,
it too.
and got some done last week. And I got.
Tell me if I try to get color, it will kill me. I was like.
Listen, let me let you get with my brother. My brother's a tattoo artist. He's getting his own shop. He did a tattoo on me last week. I'm terrible at getting tattoos, and I made it. But I'll get you. My brother is that dude in town when it comes to color. He is. That's what they say. Like for a while there, like, do you remember when watercolor tattoos were super? Like everybody was getting the watercolor tattoo. I still love watercolor tattoos. To be honest with you, I love them. My brother is the guy that they would send everybody to for watercolor tattoos. If you want a watercolor tattoo, go see Maverick. Go see D Maverick. And so now he just, anyway, this is all not, it's not about me. This is not about me. Stop it. But yes, I'm getting myself tattooed. And once a month, I'm going to be going to my brother's to go my session monthly to get my session done because he likes when I do it on this. He likes when I do it on this because I don't scream and cry and jump up every 5 minutes. Because I'm trying to act cool and tough, So, and so I'll sit for a
Zoom broadcast of you getting a tattoo.
Yes, last week I did it.
Last week she did.
Because my brother is super busy. He's super busy. Look, I know I'm his big sister, but he's super busy, and so I get in where I fit in. And he said, "Hey, can you come?" And so last week, that's when he said I could. And I was like, "Well, I got the show, but I guess I'll go." And so I went and I got the tattoo while I was doing the show, while I was doing what we're doing here. And so I was like, well, this is going to have to do. This is great, And I was actually kind of joking with Rachel going, I don't know how I was going to beat that, but this topic tops that. So I'm so happy. But yeah, so he worked on, but I've been working on this giant back piece. It's going to take me 50 years to do it. But yes, I did get work done on me for the whole first hour of the show. I was getting tattooed.
That's really cool.
And my brother was laughing his ass off at me because, like I said, I'm terrible at getting tattoos, and I'm usually jumping up and going, I need a break. I'm going to barf. I need some water. I need a cigarette, something every 5 minutes. Right? and I made it a whole hour, y'all. A whole hour.
That's
because people were looking at me, though. What does that say about me? What does that say about me? Like, if nobody's looking at me, I'm gonna cry and get up every 5 minutes. But if there's people looking at me, I made it a whole hour. So yeah, so once a month I'm gonna go over there.
Do you need someone to come watch you? I will peer pressure you.
Oh no, you know who peer pressures me? I'm totally down for that, by the way. But who also peer pressures me when I was sitting there crying one day, getting this part right here, I was like, it feels like you're stabbing me in the neck.
Oh, you got a lot of nerves
and my
there.
baby comes running out of the bedroom, and she was like, Mommy's getting stabbed in the neck. And she was giggling at me, like laughing at me. My baby came out to laugh at me getting stabbed in the neck. She's a little twisted. I love her so much. That's
my daughter and I were at HEB a while back. Or Stacie.
Either one's fine.
Oh my God. My daughter and I were at HEB a couple months ago, and she told the cashier, she was like, my mom was a rock and roll sideshow circus model. I was like,
if you don't stop talking to people.
I was like, I was like data analyst. Data analyst.
Data analyst.
Let me write that down.
Data analyst. Let me clutch my pearls. It's so ridiculous. I love. Look, I'm a tattooed mom. That's what it is. I'm a tattooed mom. Before I have my kid, and also when I can, when I can get a minute every now and again, I go to blues shows. I go out. I go and do rock and roll, stage manage rock and roll shows.
Yeah.
And if I can take my baby with me, I do. And that's the facts. Like, it's like I protect her from the things that she's not, that you should protect the child from. But I also, this is, my child is she goes with me where I go, So she's like, Mama getting stabbed in the neck. Anyway, so y'all, this is hard. But yes, I would love that. Actually, I would love for both of y'all to come back, to be completely honest with you, because I want to talk more about this. I would like to delve in a little bit more, because I think that the consent element of this is really what is super. I understand. I understand that too. Okay, all right. But really though, what I want us to take away from this today, and thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I've enjoyed this a great deal. So first of all, tell us where we can find you if we want more information about anything that you do. One of you go first. I don't care which.
So you can find me on Instagram, Rev Ratchet, as well as on Facebook, Rev Ratchet. My personal account is Rachel Elise.
All right, great. All right, Sonya, how do we find you?
Sonya, Jevette, everything.
Sonya Jevette on everything. All right, and Rev Ratchet and Rachel Elise on everything else.
And
so,
where can we find Stacie?
Oh, I'm Stacie Shea Says. Stacie Shea Says. I'm Stacie Shea. I answer to both Stacie and Shay. There's lots of people that call me. Hey, do y'all know? Let me just do it on the side real quick. Let me put us over time a little bit. Do y'all know Mimi Fulton? Mimi is a singer here around town, and she's awesome as well. But she used to sing with the Butter and Jam a lot, and she's got a band called Cruel Intentions. But she's been singing for like forever. And
got you.
I met her one time and I told her, she asked me what my name was, and I said Stacie, and she looked at me and looked me up and down and was like, why is that your name? And I have never in my life wondered why something was my name. I swear, I promise you. And so I said, well, I'm known by Stacie Shea, and she said, that makes more sense. And so I was like, all right, well, then I guess and she calls me Shay Shay, so I answer to Stacie Shea, Touche, Shay Shay, all those things. It's all me, Stacie Shea. I'm the same way. Stacie Shea Says on social media, all of them. And then the hat, yes, Stacie Shea Says. Yes, I did that. I sure did. Yes, ma'am, I did.
What's the cat's name?
The cat's name. You hear this slut back here? Her name is Sissy Cat. Her name is Sissy.
Hey, Sissy.
Cat. You hear her? I was like, just Lord. Look, I got to let her go through puberty before I get her fixed, okay? It's better for her long-term well-being. That's a good end cap, right? But yeah, she asked me, so Stacie Shea Says on most things. And then, of course, I've got a YouTube channel, The Hash with Stacie Shea, the Facebook page, The Hash with Stacie Shea, which y'all are on right now. I think I've got an Instagram with The Hash with Stacie Shea. If not, it's the Stacie Shea Says. So everything is my name too. If you look me up, everything is my name. I am not that wedding planner from Massachusetts. Okay. Stacie Shea Events is not me. I am Stacie Shea Says because all of my stuff is yappy like this. All of my stuff is talking. Anyway, ladies, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
joining us.
Thank you for having me, Stacie Shea. Girl.
Thank y'all. I'm gonna do that weird, awkward ending the meeting now, y'all. So like and follow the hash with Stacie Shea on Facebook and YouTube. Please, I want to get a good URL. I need 100 followers on YouTube to get a good URL. So help me out, okay?
Word.
And thank y'all so much. We'll see you next week. Y'all be good. Peace and love.
Love and hair.
See you guys later.
Love.
Bye bye.